21 Savage just reminded everybody he is not here for internet games, fan wars, or being drafted into someone else's beef. He was asked straight up about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar situation and where he stands on rap beef in general, and his answer was pure 21. Calm, blunt, and way more revealing than it looks on the surface. He basically said, I don't really believe in rap beef. I don't come from that world. If you say certain stuff about me in a song, I'm going to see you in real life and you got to stand on it. So let's talk about what that really means, why it matters in the middle of this Drake versus Kendrick era, and what it says about how 21 sees himself in hip hop. First, a little context. The Drake Kendrick situation isn't just some light sparring. It's been one of the biggest, nastiest rap feuds we've seen in years. Diss tracks, personal shots, rumors, legal drama, and a whole lot of fans turning everything into a scoreboard. Drake and 21 are tight. They've done albums together, tours, big records. Fans have constantly tried to drag 21 into the middle. Whose side are you on? Why aren't you dissing Kendrick? What do you think about the beef? So when he sits down in that interview and they ask about Drake and Kendrick, he doesn't bite on the bait. He doesn't give some stand-friendly answer like, yeah, my boy won. And he doesn't pretend to be above it with some fake, I don't listen to any of that. Instead, he draws a line between two worlds, rap beef as entertainment and real life. I don't really believe in rap beef is a heavy statement coming from someone in his position. He's not saying he doesn't believe in disagreements. He's not saying he doesn't have opinions. He's saying he doesn't believe in this idea of going back and forth on wax just to entertain people, rack up views, and give the blog something to post, especially if it crosses into a level of disrespect he takes personally. That I don't come from that world line is key. There are rappers who come from a battle rap culture where the whole point is to disrespect each other, clown each other, get personal, and then dap it up after. It's like a sport. For them, rap beef is another level of that. You say wild stuff, they say wild stuff, and at the end of the day, it's all love, it's just bars. 21 is basically saying, that's not how I was raised, that's not my wiring. Where he comes from, disrespect isn't content, it's a problem. So if you say something crazy about him on a track, he's not thinking, let me get in the booth and drop a response record. He's thinking, when I see you in person, you're going to have to stand on that. That doesn't mean he's some wild loose cannon looking for trouble. It means he takes words seriously. No hiding behind, it's just rap. Once you cross a line, you can see that same energy in how he's handled other public beef questions. When people kept asking him on live about Drake and Metro Boomin falling out, he shut it down quick, basically saying, don't come on my live talking about beef. Metro my brother, Drake my brother. They're going to figure that out. That's 21 saying again, stop trying to make me pick sides for your entertainment. So when he's asked about Drake and Kendrick, and he answers by talking about not believing in rap beef, he's doing a few things at once. He's protecting his relationships. He's protecting his brand. He's making clear he's not a pawn in fan wars. And he's reminding people that for him, this rap thing still connects back to real life principles. Another important layer is how his stance contrasts with other voices in the culture. You've got artists and commentators saying things like, rap beef is healthy for hip hop. It keeps things competitive. It's part of the sport. And there's some truth to that. Hip hop was built on battling, competition, trying to outdo the next person. But 21 is drawing a line between fun competition and deep disrespect. He's not saying no one should ever go bar for bar. He's saying that once you cross in certain topics, you're not just battling anymore. You're creating real animosity that has to be dealt with off the mic. And that's where his quote hits hardest. If you say certain things about him in a song, he's not responding on Spotify. He's responding in person. That's a warning and a boundary at the same time. Now let's be real. 21 is in a tricky spot politically. Drake is clearly his guy. They've done a whole joint album, multiple hits, shared tours, and a lot of Drake's fan base overlaps with 21's. At the same time, Kendrick is universally respected as one of the best to ever do it. There's no upside for 21 in jumping out the window and saying, yeah, Kendrick lost, or Drake should have done this. All that does is drag him into crossfire that he doesn't benefit from. So instead of playing into that, he zooms out and talks about rap beef as a concept. It's smart. He gets to talk principle instead of picking teams. He gets to say, I'm not really with that, without disrespecting either side. There's also a maturity angle here. 21's not the same kid we met when Bank Account first dropped. He's older, he's richer, he's got immigration paperwork, tours, endorsements, family, and a reputation to protect. Getting sucked into a rap beef that could spill over into real world drama isn't just risky, it's bad business. Why would he risk any of that trying to prove something in a war that's not even his? At the same time, his stance low key calls out the audience. Fans love rap beef when it's from the outside looking in. They want disses, subs, sneak bars, screenshots, spaces, reaction videos. But they don't have to live with the consequences if things go too far. They're not the ones at risk of real life run ins, legal problems, or opportunities drying up. 21 is saying, y'all might see rap beef as entertainment. I see it as energy I don't need around me unless you really want a problem. What's wild is that his answer also exposes something about the way we talk about real versus industry. People love to accuse rappers of being fake, saying it's just rap. He's not like that in real life. Then, when someone like 21 says, no, I'm not playing those games. If you say something, I'm holding you to it. People act shocked. You can't have it both ways. Either it's all performance and no one should take it personally, or some people are actually going to treat these words like they mean something. 21 is telling you which side he's on. So, what's the bigger takeaway here? One, it shows there are different worlds inside hip hop. There's the battle/bar world where disrespect is sport. There's the industry media world where beef is content. And there's the street world where disrespect is dangerous. 21 is planted more in that last one. And he's not interested in pretending otherwise just to feed content. Two, it shows why not every artist is going to jump into every big cultural moment. Just because a beef is huge doesn't mean everyone wants to or should weigh in. Some people want to watch it from afar and keep their own reputations clean. Three, it's a reminder that the way fans, blogs, and platforms talk about beef is not always how the actual artists feel. For us, it's a storyline. For them, it can be a security risk, a legal headache, or a permanent stain on relationships and opportunities. At the end of the day, 21 Savage found a way to answer a messy question without throwing anyone under the bus and without hiding who he is. He let people know he's not into rap beef as a sport, he respects both sides, and if you ever cross a certain line with him, don't expect a diss track. Expect to answer for it in person. If you rock with breakdowns that go past the headline and actually unpack what these artists are really saying about the culture, you're in the right place. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, drop your thoughts respectfully in the comments. Do you agree with 21's stance on rap beef? And make sure you subscribe to the Short Clips Podcast so you don't miss the next story your timeline can't stop talking about.